Thank you for joining me in ChatGPT. What we're going to do is provide the ChatGPT model with some explicit instructions on how we want the agent to operate, and we're going to provide it with the required input files as attachments as part of the prompt that we're going to create. So to start things off, I'm going to move things into agent mode, and then I'm going to, in preparation, attach the input files that we're looking for. And here we are creating our Cash Variance Assistant, and I have created a bank balance file as well as a bank transactions file. So we're going to go ahead and attach those. And now I'm going to bring over a prompt that I've created earlier, and I do just want to talk this through for a second before we go ahead and have the agent run. So we're being very explicit in telling the agent that it is a Cash Variance Analysis Assistant, and its objective is to prepare a draft monthly cash variance analysis for the finance team to review. We've called out the specific inputs that it will be receiving and the name of the file that it should reference to gather those inputs. We've also flagged materiality for the purposes of this exercise, so the agent knows exactly how to categorize things. We're giving it very specific tasks. These are the tasks that we would perform as humans while we're performing this process manually. We also provide some constraints, so think back to the roles framework that we used for prompt engineering. This is, where we're going to provide those same limits or constraints in this case, so that the model knows kind of the boundaries to operate within. We've asked it to escalate in terms of flagging any material variances for our controller to review, and we've been explicit in our objective to confirm the output format that we're looking for. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and run the agent model now, and what we're going to see, as we saw earlier with deep research mode, is that it's going to take longer to produce an output. So I'll kick things off here, and then what I'm going to do is actually pause the recording and resume it once ChatGPT has fully executed the agent. I'm just going to give it a second just to show you what this is going to look like. So we can see here that the interface looks a little different as ChatGPT is using Python behind the scenes to process the various tasks that we have in the sequence of events. So I'm going to pause here and we'll be back shortly once ChatGPT has run its course. Okay, welcome back. And as you can see, ChatGPT has done quite an excellent job of performing the tasks that we asked of it. I'm going to scroll down here and we can see our summary of month-end cash balances across the different bank accounts. We have the prior balance, the current balance, the variances, and whether the variances are material or not. We talk about the drivers of overall cash movement by referencing the underlying transactions that were provided. We have an account level analysis, and then we have a nice little chart at the end that just shows the variance month over month. Now these variances, from what I'm seeing, are accurate, tied back to the underlying data, as are the designations for the material variances. Now, as we've said all along, we as the humans need to take the time to go in and validate the results that we're receiving here. And also, we didn't automate the end-to-end process of our cash flow variance analysis. What we did do was automate the preparation. And what I want you to remember is just kind of this fact pattern to follow as you're thinking about working with agents in ChatGPT. We start not with the agent workflow. We start with the human workflow, just as we did earlier. We're going to break down the tasks into things that can be automated and things that shouldn't be automated, things that require human judgment. And then we're going to write the agent prompt as if it's a job description. You are an analyst, and these are the tasks that I need you to perform. And these are the outputs that I require from you. And then, of course, flag any escalation that's needed and make sure that there is sign-off on the output from the agent before you lean on this as part of your reconciliation process or to make business decisions. So now that you have successfully executed your agent, you can go ahead and download the agent file for future use. The file type is going to be a .yaml file. Now, there are other ways that you can call upon this agent, such as saving the code in Python code, but that really goes beyond the remit of this course. Now, before we move on to the next use case, I do just want to quickly call out the fact that currently, if you're using the free tier of ChatGPT, you're not going to be able to use agent mode. That may change in the future, but as of the creation of this course, that is the case. And with a paid subscription, you are allocated 40 agent jobs that you can execute every month, and even more if you have the Pro license tier. Now let's go ahead and look at our next use case.